Hey, it's great being in the East End's armpits with no place to go. Seeing used pear aloe vera juice with a 20 bag, I don't know how many times I've been saved from my rash decisions by being laughed out of them. Lord knows how many times I've decided to give up fried chicken, but the ketchup is always redder in a neon lit PFC. When it's time to go, I take the long way home so I can enjoy the post link up thoughts for dessert and wonder whether I am the doubts that weigh me down or whether I am the person who my mates describe me to be. We're gonna be okay is a phrase punctuated with the word bruv. Like, bruv, put that egg on some toast and toast to another evening well wasted. Thank you.
Yeah man. Nice poetry, man.
You're too kind. All right, who's ready to get into the open mic performances? Have I encouraged some people to step up onto the mic themselves?
To say what?
I'll let you decide in a bit when we take some more names down, but for now, can we have the first open micer? And this is just a reminder, you have a maximum of 4 minutes in the open mic. It's John N. John N, put your hands together for our first open micer of the evening.
Hi, thank you. So, my name is John, and I am terrified of children. And really, the reason for that is the month we're in is now August. This is the 1 month of the year where I do not see children for a living. So I'm a primary school teacher, and it's actually really encouraging to see young people here. And actually, and a massive thank you to Off the Chest for providing spaces like this. I think there's a real importance in creativity, particularly within our curriculum. I do sometimes have conflict with the way that it's taught, and I think that this poem leans into that. It's called Feedback. At its most pertinent, feedback resonates for its purpose, not the colour of the ink it's presented in. At 34 and a half, I was presented with a recount of a trip to Epping Forest. The author, 7 years of age, stood saucer-eyed, waiting to hang on my every word of approval. Wit, charm and authenticity leapt off the page. I chuckled, beaming as her personality brought recollections of mini beast hunting on a chilly March morning to life. I glanced up. Saucer eyes were gone, anchored to the ground. Sir, why did you laugh? Is my work bad? I chuckled. The real joke was that after 16 years, the anguish in her voice finally articulated what had always disconnected me from my profession. The most ingenious of young voices can believe they're only validated by red ticks, not the emotions that they invoke on their audience. In that moment, I'd wish for a magic pen that I could splash layers of multicoloured ink with different strokes and letter sizes. Sweetheart, I don't truly recognise your world from the one I grew up in, but I refuse to assess your every word, force feed you fronted adverbials until you're reluctant to share what's around you. Your classrooms are blessed by differing genders, ethnicities and religions. With such rich experiences, why should your creative outputs all be the same? Your words are precious, not artificial. Use them to welcome, guide and ask important questions. Not every set of ears may hear them the same way. Never be afraid to use your words to add colour and paint pictures, especially now that they're coming after murals. Whatever you say, be truthful, most importantly to yourself. Harness each syllable's true power. Commodifying the arts was their first shot at disarming your imagination. And you never know, your story might be someone else's last hope. Thank you. I'm going to risk a slightly newer one, and I'm only going to do part of it for various reasons. Okay. I'm sleeping compulsively on one side of your other bed, with no certainty as to which one of us I'm convincing that you'll be back. Struggling to understand or trust your reasons for going. Petrified of that drawer I've been reluctantly curating in your absence. A dubious thought temporarily protecting me from the parts of you deemed not important enough to occupy space in your other existence. In your absence, my bravest face squeezes my eyes together in search of slumbered reprieve. Beneath, smudges of makeup smirk at me from an until recently unblemished mattress. No matter how wide I open my windows, your drunken cries reverberate. It would be so much easier to be here for good if you got me. Thank you.
Yes man.
Give it up one more time for John, please. So part of the reason why I love doing poetry events so much is just the open mic. You never know what you're going to get. We've had all sorts over the years, including people who've never done poetry before. I don't know about you guys, but I started out as a very informal poet, just writing down notes on my notes app on my iPhone. Suddenly those notes turn into more and more things, and before you know it, I'm in an orange high-vis vest in Victoria Park as part of All Points East. How's that? So if you want to perform, and if you've never performed before, definitely do put yourself on the open mic list. Okay, who's ready for the next open micer? Yeah, let's go. He's a great poet. This is Johnny, everybody. Put your hands together.
Yes, Johnny.
Good evening, people. I'll do this one with some editing. This is called As Technicalities. It's about my opinion on how we shouldn't get too kind of polarized. I'm just going to read it.
Excuse me. Do you work here?
Feel the files,
Alright.
Colgate
So
smile of
what
your
we're trying to do is
idol,
let's get people
sculpting,
to come and sit.
scraping itch, attrition,
I want a form. For what?
teeth burning white as
I
lime
just don't
wash
believe
over
there is one,
you.
so I haven't got any
The
poem in my
nub of the
head.
matter
But I like it,
is
you
how
know.
you use colour.
What's up with your voice, man?
Coded
Voice is
by
down.
it,
You're
will
shouting,
you
innit?
buy how we civilise and anesthetize, how the heat refracts into our microscope eyes, boiling inside minds to suit fog we have to fish our certainties from. No wonder on a cold night that you can see the vapour, it leaks out. And as chest-beaten volleys reverberates, assail old pulsatile tinnitus of man, have we ever stopped craving the stomp of the shells? Just hear shuddered thump of a football drum and the brusque bark of the voices it dictates. See gestures flamboyantly, charades they play at each other as if under stage light, and flying scraps of shrapnel in their spit. I saw a Reading fan with pink hair and fishnet tights walk their hairy legs into the wrong pub to be greeted with, "Outside, you Reading bastard, I'm Blackpool and I'm a nice guy, but if you touch me, you lefty, I'll cut your heart out." Us men are but utter lambs to our arts, except now we sacrifice ourselves. And for what? Twist our bones from their sockets to keep our portraits straight as shudders threaten to shake its watercolour from its shape. For as the last of our 1940s glory is all but bone-paced tales of bravery, we still hound for it, batter foreheads like drumskins with our hero shticks, as if every syllable that rattles into us is chatter on the beaches of Normandy. We who slaughtered, soaked the earth with the paint of civilization are now locked in bitter fighting with the mirror. And God forbid you see one of us when the drink has double glazed our eyes, lest we see our face in yours. And if you want to see Queen Boadicea, you can see her at the Black Swan of Friday in Bristol, trying to shake off her trust fund like dried mud hurled free from ginger dreadlocks, flailing like maces. See these Wookiees who immerse themselves in dirt for the earthiness, thrash like cornfields in disarray, circling a totem pole belching dust and a beat like tribal drums charged with amphetamine. Hear the world dissected by slurring Oliver Twists, painstakingly diluted from poshness with powder. God forbid I ever turn up in Fred Perry, lest their disdainful eyes corral me. Wait, lads, how's Brexit going, you gammon? I said I hate Brexit, I just like football. I told them I've been to the gym this week. They stared like I was Andrew Tate, reincarnate. Screw that cartoon reprobate, by the way. In any case, would you look at these temples, the ridicule has me scrambling up as human hearts skim and bounce past, greeted each by a baseline of laughs just to get our faces painted. See the slick clay glisten looking marble from a distance until it sticks to you. I have reached the top twice and twice aghast when I found I didn't get a feather headdress. I was bewildered as the surgeon held me down on their easel. Now then, let's get your face painted, don't kick and it won't hurt a bit. Both times I woke to a wheeze as I danced around the fire, a little disorientated. There was a howling sound. No one noticed it was me, but my mouth was shut and I saw it. There's a hubcap-sized hole in my chest. At a slight breeze plays a tetratonic scale, not quite my song of myself. The only consistency is inconsistency of face pain, tie-dyeing, blood of wounds we tumble from. So love, until love is inconceivable, or at the very least wait before you hate. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
One more time for Johnny, everybody.
Yeah, man. Well done, well done, well done.
All right. So we have at our events feature poets as well. But before we go into the night's first feature poet, if you want to sign up for the open mic, this is how you do it. I'm going to hand over Ella this very sacred list with a biro as well. If you want to sign up, just approach her or signal to her and she'll come over and she'll take your name down for the next half.
Somewhere.
But yeah, does that sound good? And thank you for sticking with us. All good?
Yeah.
Yep, I see nodding heads. All right, great. So I just want to read out this bio before he comes on. But it's my great... We're having a good time. We're going to give a really quick bio then. Peter de Graaf Johnson, the Repeat Beats poet, is a British-born Ghanaian poet, hip-hop artist and DJ. He's performed all across UK, Europe and Africa, and he co-founded the hip-hop open mic Painting, which I bloody love. And he hosts the Lunar Poetry Podcast and shares his love for African music through the Loosey Goosey, his radio show and Afro Disco Night. Just to give you the abridged version of his bio, but I want you to make the biggest noise in our off-the-chest tent for the Repeat Beat Poet, everyone. The Repeat Beat Poet.
Yes.
Alright people, how we doing? We good?
Yeah, man.
Glorious. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna introduce you to me by way of rhyme first off, and then we'll see where we go from there. It's important for me, you know, am I feeling these? Nah, see normally I go with my lightweight headphones, but I went with the heavy duty headphones today and they were restricting my throat in it. So what I'm gonna do is introduce you to me. I'm a hip hop poet and MC. I've been doing this for about 9 years now, and I like to use poetry as a way of working my thoughts out, working out what I think about the world, and working out my emotions, what I think about my internal world, external, the internal. And right now I'm gonna take the internal and put it through the external by way of an introduction and a freestyle. I'm gonna just string together some rhymes for as long as I can, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, has anybody ever seen live freestyling before, by the way? Any hip hop heads? No? Yes, okay, a couple people. What I mean is that I'm gonna essentially improv this, just decide what comes out. So let's go.
Warm up.
So it's me, it's the RBP. You'll know it's me. I got these rhythms, rhymes, and poetry. Watch, these I combine, black stars realign, I'm the reassembling sign of the times. I see the target in the forest, I score goal like coal. I move smooth like a ghost pass through your soul. The world is mine, it was written and foretold that I'll be gripping my spit until I'm grey and old. I'm slicker than your average man, behold. Moves quicker through the night than alcohol. Day tripping on the south bank, scribble on the pad. Checked it back like this ain't that bad. I can be what I wanna be. So I say to you, be what you wanna be. If not you, then who is it gonna be? Speak your truth without no apology. Sink your tooth into what you wanna do. Do what you wanna do, be what you wanna be. If not you, then who is it gonna be? Speak your truth without no apology. Sink your tooth into what you wanna do. Nah, this real knowledge you won't find in no syllabus. I'm flying high through the sky, Goku on a Nimbus. Who am I? Sacrifice, emulating genius, educate and innovate. I offset my ambivalence. I got content, rhyme and flow. You'll find there's no equivalent. There's other views available, but they're wholly insignificant. If you underestimate me, I'll be blindsiding you with my stimulant. You'll be supercharged with enhanced, stay vigilant. My time is imminent, boss, becoming militant. Trained with the Wu-Tang, escape imprisonment. Living my own scenes ever since preteen. My rooted in a tribe called Quest and Love Supreme. So I'ma rock this dashiki, get real comfortable, feeling freaky. 1, 2, 3 of mine, then your ass will follow. I live for right now, I create for tomorrow. Yes, I'm coming real smooth, you know this. I still get into the groove, you know this. Believe it's mine, doesn't matter, you know this. I'm making your bones shatter, that's osteoporosis. Now watch me as I flow this easily. If you don't know now, you know it's RBP. I'm the rhyme-laden, beat-slaying poet MC, riding that Black Star line all city. London on a Monday, it looks so pretty. Such a pity, living here in the East is tricky. I'm chasing rent, running around scatty and skittish. Overworked and underpaid, damn, that's British.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm hustling and struggling,
Yeah.
the work don't finish. Turn me to a grumbling, stone cold cynic. Minute to minute, I manipulate my flow, begin it within it. Real change starts at home, and the game is long, you know this. So keep your head up, stay strong, you know this. I resonate like a gong, you know this. I'm making you make the stink face like I'm spitting halitosis. I notice this hope is hard to harbor. There be snakes in the grass and pools of piranha. You'll see me hanging on to my dreams through poverty and laughter. Avoid the drama, preach karma. And when the storm is raging and your grip slips, remember there's beauty in a total eclipse. The silver lining, breathe slow. All this you know I flipped it. Cause I'll be Catherine Tate on the acetate, hollering, I ain't bothered, in a hyper state because I rate the intensity. Intelligent integrity, I burn out heavily and I'm trying to find the remedy. I rejuvenate in the silence of parks and libraries. Then bookshelves shelter me like a jungle canopy. I read hard, listen hard, write hard, live. All I got is what I have to give. Yes indeed, the game is long, you know this. I keep my head up, stay strong, you know this. And you see me out in the East smoking Zudi. Every day, no cliche in black hoodie. See me out there, I'll be talking grass. I'm styling, wildin' on your ass. See me out there hazing green, I'm high as a kite, waving. Yeah, see me out there bunning weed, I proceed to give you what Janita said. See me out there hitting ganja, every beat, line and stanza. See me smoking marijuana, rapping jumps on fire Ghana. See me smoking cannabis, bubble of madness I persist. See me out with urban herb, I heard them urban words. That's right, urban words. It's incontrovertible. This rhyme unstoppable. I'm unbeatable, unbelievable. Style unreachable, unimpeachable, unbeseechable, don't speak to me. I'm insatiable, unmistakable, I'm sinning and winning and constantly grinning. Loving my melanin, travel like Bedouin. Wander through Ghana, don't bulletproof. I'm my mother and father, Accra and Wakanda. Energy, giving the best of me. Speaking in rhythms across over centuries. Telling me P, doing incredibly. Carry the legacy, banish the enemy. Be not afraid of the lethargy, heresy. We'll keep you fresh, rep for the heavenly. This musicality resonate naturally. Stand with integrity. We are your family, we are the chain linking you to your past. Wherever you are, no matter how far, triple and double, making your head nod. 3, 2, 1, hard.
Yes.
Okay,
Well done.
wicked. Right, you know, sometimes you gotta clear out the pipes. We just get warmed up, people. So I'm gonna do this poem because I do believe it's an important thing to do whenever I take a mic and hold a space here. There is something beautiful about what happens when people are gathered, and it doesn't matter for what reason or any time. We have a thing called shared attention. It's a very powerful thing. We live in an attention economy. Quite literally, every second that you're not on your phone is a second that somebody is trying to buy. And it's very important that we acknowledge how beautiful it is to be able to be together in a space, whatever space it is, and just listen to each other and hear each other and hopefully model a better world. So give yourselves a round of applause for being here today. You could have been anywhere in the world. There's a lot of good stuff on Netflix, but you're here in the middle of a park in East London listening to me go. And this piece is a piece I dedicate for the poets anytime I do it. Afterwards I'm going to do a piece which is dedicated to audiences, but right now this is for the poets. So for anyone who's ever written a poem, all the open micers, anyone for ever, any reason, mates' weddings, birthdays, funerals, rest in peace, big events, sometimes when you're just on the bus home, sometimes when your head hits the pillow and you just got to get that thought out, sometimes when you're at work and you're printing out on till roll and writing in the breaks. Yeah, see, that's a couple of little giggles, I think you know. People who had Tumblr accounts. Any private Tumblr accounts? No, okay, see, some audiences, that's a bit, oh, there's an ashamed look. This is for everyone who's ever written poetry. For the poets. For the fleeting moment capturers who enrapture us. I've written this for the rhyme flingers and the word slingers. For the pens and microphones gripped in between fingers. For the barrier breakers who showed anyone and everyone what could be done. For all the fleeting moment capturers who enrapture us, for the rhyme flingers and the word slingers, for the pens and microphones gripped in between fingers, for the barrier breakers who showed anyone and everyone that this could be done, for the public communicators of your private struggles, and for the lives reborn from rubble, for poets writing their way out of trouble. For every poem written that aids a resurrection or sparks an insurrection. Every poet that challenges your conventions. I've written this for every witty epithet doubling as one reactionary couplet. And for all of those poets just surprised by what it is they've created. And for the ones who make all of this look simple and uncomplicated. For every secret journal kept hidden. Every instrumental or internal beat written. Every writer reaching for knowledge forgotten or forbidden, on every stage and page graced with a verse that did not want but needed to be written. You see, I've written this for every seasoned sage, every first timer, faced with whatever it means to call yourself a writer. For every fabled poet out there spinning fables, every identity shunning easy labels, every poem in every language under Babel. For the ones who write for us when we are sick and unable. For the ones who write just to keep themselves stable. For the poets everywhere and the love of the words that got them there. One time please, and every time please, for the poets.
Yeah. Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done.
Okay, this next piece I'm going to do is another short one, another dedication. By the way, I'm going to do probably another like 8-9 minutes. I'm going to hammer through it. I'm not sure how long the freestyle was, and so right now we free balling it. I always come with a set list and it always goes whoo, straight out the window. There's a samba band and I'll try to spit with the samba band, and it works for like a half second. I was very happy with that in the freestyle, but it means I'm also now freestyling my set. But this is a gift to you for sticking about, you know, whether you're walking past and you hear what I do, whether you're, you know, sitting down and paying attention. I do understand this is a festival and it's very important. Right, I'm gonna come this side. Stagecraft, my G's. You know what that is? Stagecraft. For the faithful. Hallowed hall hum. Meets divine deep drum. I two-step in step, activate funk tech, and I move like mech. It's the automaton phenomenon. There's a guest MC, and their hip-hop is what I be on. Twin blade rap pace rhymes more heavier than a Jeep, while we're vibing on these orchestral chimes and monitor bleeps. I believe when we few are gathered here, yes, it's a moment to keep. These disused tunnels, pubs, clubs, parks, they all will be reclaimed space where the best beat bangs hard in tightest embrace, and hearts to hearts pound in the rumble of bass. Escape is this place, is this state, is this beat syncopated in these feet of beat. I believe these nights, these sights, exalted are these songs. So bring me your best schmaltz, and we will waltz through hi-hats and gongs. And as the beat goes on and hits me with a lurch, I sing to us the faithful. This is our church, and this is where we heal our hurts. Yes, this is where we heal our hurts. Thank you.
Well done, well done, well done, well done.
Okay. Thank you, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your attention for the plan of looking at the history of this country. It's quite weird when you think about it, because from the years of about, the 1540s up to about now, Britain also is an island, but also functionally has an empire. It just kind of has all of its control, and like across that 200-year period, there was a time where what happened here was quite literally what was defining what would happen in about 40% of the world's landmass at its peak, right? And so we have to think about, or I like to think about, the opportunity of what happens when we rediscover history from a different point of view. There is no monopoly on truth, nobody owns it, there is no monopoly on history, we just have to understand. And so I like to think about this in my poetry and how it comes out. And to that end, I wrote a poem about a guy called William Davidson, who was interred in the Tower of London in 1820 as a political prisoner, because he was essentially agitating for voting rights, and he also was set up in a plot. I will tell his full story. But first, everything I say of essentially the white supremacist, capitalist, heteropatriarchy, which controls and obsessively controls and wants to, marketize us and kill us all because the world is run by fascists. Yes, indeedy, this is true. Apart from all this, there is resistance, and there is hope, and there is joy, and every time there are people who come together to make a difference, and people are the thing that makes the difference. Every single time, people are the thing that makes the difference. As he pulls up the William Davidson poem. Thank you. You must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. When you eat from it, you will certainly die. Genesis 2:17. So you were birthed by a black woman, dead stock, deemed unworthy to record, surplus produce, under the watch of a man installed to inflict British justice on us just subjects, the soil in which you grew held lawlessness. So when you were shipped to Scotland for schooling, you dipped and sought solace on the sea that was your exile. Upon return and by demand, strong arms to serve at sea for the crown, yet anchored enough in the law of the land to unionize, come together and make a stand. You were a single black British man making bread in the Badlands from London to Liverpool to Birmingham, a maker, building cabinets for the people with his hands. Then, with the Peterloo massacre as your witness and 11 dead fighting unjust laws, you hit the books to stop the crooks preaching common ownership for the common cause. And with you it was all for one and one for all before infiltration and downfall. See, there was this copper undercover seeded a tantalizing thought. Let's blow the government to hell in the style of Guy Fawkes. And before the ink had dried, that scurrilous spy sold you out for highest treason. Divide and conquer works the same from Cato Street in Farringdon to the Caribbean. In court, you challenged the judge and the jury. Would you rather not govern a country of spirited people than cowards? In this country, our radical leaves are dissected, pressed between pages, dead bodies like flowers preserved for the ages prematurely cut. Nah, I want my history blooming and rooted like a living tree. For it is ancient custom to resist fuckery.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alrighty. I'll leave you with one, which is a fun one, which is basically something to do with how I, apart from thinking about within the structure of power, you have like the socio-political, the economic, military, technological stuff, but you also have spiritual. And there's a weird type of development that's happened in this country, especially over the past 70, 80 years post-war, where we have a lack of religiosity, like not in that people don't believe, but that people aren't like practicing or like doing religion. I think it's very interesting because 90% of the world is not like this. 90% of the world believes and also has practices where even if they don't believe, they're involved in what we call mass communal actions. And it's a very important thing that I think we're losing in this country. We don't have third spaces, public spaces like this joyous, wonderful places that we can come for free to be together without having to spend money.
Yeah.
And so I wrote this song,
Yeah.
I wrote this poem essentially to dig into a bit of a story, what would happen if a messiah would return to London.
So much going
I
on,
found
man.
these glasses about a week ago, and I'm being very cavalier with them, you know, very cavalier. Okay, so this is called Desecrated. Yes. When Christ the Redeemer descends on Deptford High Street, only the rain will fall to wash his feet. The kids will have already grown weary and tired of waiting. The Prince of Peace will be missed, sitting at the bus shelter, the bus driver sliding past him with only 3 hours before the early start. The Godhead made flesh again on Dalston Lane will break in private gardens. The patrols around Gethsemane felt the same. His holiness, his glorious name will sing no song on the banks of the Thames. He will gag on London's waste at Beckton. If you know, you know. It's basically where the sewage treatment works of most of central East London come out under Beckton, so that's why the Beckton A13 exit smells like absolute doo-doo.
No.
And now, this is the classic. This is the point where I lose where I am because I've been distracted by the history. Like, you know, in the 19th century, this entire country was taking wealth from across the world and repurposing it here to do things like,
Deep
you know, getting rid of the big stink, making sure that we have good plumbing. And we do. And East London is built on it. If you've ever ridden across the Greenway, that fantastic Greenway, all the way from Stratford out towards Beckton, that is the Beckton sewage pipe you are riding on top of. This is the history that we are in. Every inch, nook, cranny is built on empire, and that's our responsibility. It may not be our fault. I don't care about fault, but it is where we are. And so before I was talking about the Beckton sewage pipes, I was saying that His Holiness, His glorious name, will sing no song on the banks of the Thames. He will gag on London's waste at Beckton, choke at City Airport, and cackle at futility through the fumes. And after following the River Lee all the way up to Tottenham, Yahweh will face match day and divided loyalties. The Lord Creator himself will be run out of the Barking, Brent and Brixton Town Hall after there was a council assessment that found him to be fit for work but culturally incompatible. God might be judged in a trial, held on the tube and sentenced to penance sweeping the steps in front of St. Paul's, where tourists kneeling at altars of idols wipe their feet on their gods. I was raised as an evangelical, Quaker and Methodist, and I was taught to believe that cleanliness is next to godliness. I left the church, and I think God has reconsidered what to polish, what to purify, and what to let burn.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. That has been my time. My name is the Repeat Beat Poet. I'm going to do all the plugs in one huge breath, right? Give me half a second because we're going to do this, right? So, my name is the Repeat Beat Poet. That's at Repeat Beat Poet for all of the social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I do two monthly radio shows. The first one is called Loosey Goosey. It is a Pan-African Afro disco show. It is hilarious. It is fantastic. It is also informational, and it's me for 2 hours, first Wednesday of every month. I also do a show called the Imagine a Million Show on Soho Radio every 4th Wednesday, 4 till 6. The next one is this Friday. Also, I am an artist, Repeat Beat Poet, for all of your online musical needs. I've got tracks around. I am also, thankfully enough, a member of the Grammys. Yes, I got offered to do that. It's hilarious. I get to vote on shit. I have power. But also, I'm a nice guy. That's right. I run poetry nights. I do it for the love of the people. I genuinely do. But I'm an arrogant fuck on the mic. I'm really sorry if there's any more kids around. I run a hip-hop night called Penting, which is basically it's a hip-hop poetry night. Been running for years. We love it. We're on a hiatus now, but we're coming back getting big things. It's fantastic. Also, yes, that's right. What else do I do? He writes. Film journalist, culture journalist, and I'll also, do interviews, host. I also do consultancy. I also do workshops. That's right. Get me into your workshops. I do the workshops for schools, adults, all ages, all abilities. Apart from everything else, I do believe that's it. I can't really think about anything else, and I'm running out of breath. Oh yeah, the book. A Testament to Life and Death. I put this together in 5 years. Memories, stories, histories, narratives. Tenner over here. Maybe I'll do it for £5. Negotiate, buy me a drink, who knows. Thank you very much. My name is Win, the Repeat Beat Poet. Good night.
Thank you. Yes. Fantastico.
Come and find Mike, and please do, you're more than welcome to. That's what Off the Chest is all about. Okay, I've just finished my vegan chicken nuggets, which were very delicious. I see, very expensive, okay? We're not generous with the artist discount over here, but hey, we'll take it. We'll take what we can get. What are we eating in the audience? I see you eating. No, I'm encouraging you. Please do come to poetry events with food. We love it. I love munching away at a poetry night. Why not? Poke bowl. Oh no, that's okay. I'm not actually vegan, so that's all good. Maybe I'll grab one of those on the way out. Completely hollow out my bank balance. Why not? Out of 10? What would you give it out of 10? 7, that's pretty decent. That's okay for festival food. Okay, I will stop rambling now and launch into some poetry, because that's why we're all here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to share some poems now. My name is Ella. And I just wanted to, seeing as we're on the subject of food, I'm bouncing off my co-host's poem earlier. Who here is a Morley's fan? Okay, can I get a woo woo if you're a Morley's fan? Okay, that's decent, but we are north of the river, so, you know, it's to be expected. Who here is a PFC fan? Okay, some more Morleys than PFC. Interesting. This will become relevant in my poem. Just wait. I'm just doing some calculations in my head. Right, this is called An Ode to Nothingness. In the style of a sloth wrapped around a tree. I don't know if I'll move today. There's always more to be done, isn't there? Washing bin, begging to be freed, piles of drafts, another form to complete. Last night it was mottled throats, S-Club, dodgy high notes. We stumbled into the mouth of the moon. My best friend goes back to her baby. And I go back to waiting for my Morleys. Yes, I want the world. It's high budget set designs. It's work lunches in Japan. Yes, I want the world. I see it each morning, shining from my palm. Yes, I wake at the alarm. I count the hours. I check the lists. Some days I need to consume it. An all-you-can-eat buffet. Today, It's a high achieving school, and I'm behind the bin smoking rollies during maths. My mum's friends say I am doing so well. I can't stop thinking about Beyonce, who has probably never spent a full day in bed, and how all I want, most of the time, is a £5.99 bottle of wine and someone to laugh besides in the nectar of the night. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
I went for the Morleys. I thought I would get more PFC fans. Is that not an East London thing? It is. Okay, interesting. So we've got some people coming from south of the river. Who here is from South London?
Nah.
It just proves that Morley is the greatest.
Yes.
Morley's is the greatest. And it has leapt over the river, has it not? It's franchising. Oh yeah, she's doing a set. Go carry on. No, thank you. Okay, here we go. I'm going to carry on. What have I got up next? Who knows? Who watched the football yesterday?
Me.
Okay, I mean, it wasn't the best result, but they're still my idols. We still love them. Iconic moments. Did us proud, did us truly proud. It was actually on here in Victoria Park, and I'm very passionate about the place that women have in football and the history of women's football over the years. I was recently working with Lewis Women's FC to write this poem for their football club. And yeah, I was incredibly impassioned when we won the Euros last year, and I think the legacy lives on. It's, you know, it's a very important time for women in football, and I think we should carry on celebrating it. So it was amazing seeing all of the people coming to Victoria Park yesterday and it being absolutely full in there, and that just wouldn't have happened even a year ago. That wouldn't have happened. So yeah, very touching moment. This is called Waiting.
He's distracted.
Father was given a ball, you a wooden spoon. You have been waiting to make an imprint on this grass. First pair of studs waiting for female throats. A symphony, back four to goalie, women waiting in the wings. A play written across centuries, yet to receive a sturdy stage. You still hear the boys, park bench, telling you where you belong. A ball to their spotty faces is appealing, but wait until they hear the fists of full crowds, of your grandma when her ears meet these sounds. So let them sit, let them listen to the tenacious tumble of legs, to the net's pensive punch, to your shins as they splice the green in two. At the edge of chalk, you have finally found your toes. Here in the local club, playing to the one-day spectator. Listen to the one woman tell you there will be no more waiting. That even your back heel can spin the ball forward to sculpt this game anew. Thank you.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Oi. Yes.
Okay, I've said it a few times tonight, but I will say it again. We've still got an open mic slot up for grabs. So if you haven't come up already and you would like to, please have a little chat with Ifti. If not, I'm going to do one more poem and then we're going to hand it over to our final feature of the evening. Anyone outside this little box, please come and join us. We're doing poetry. We're doing poetry for another, I don't know, another like 25 more minutes. So please come and join, show the love, and yeah, we've been off the chest.
Yes.
Go me. I'm owning it. Thank you very much. In Zindabad's Food Zine, an amazing zine that Ifti has previously been published in. Many poets that we have been lucky enough to platform here off the chest have been published in, and it's an incredible Zine, and they also run poetry nights, so do check them out. This is called Slavski Kolach, and it's dedicated to my deda, my granddad, who was Serbian. And it goes like this. Slavski Kolach. Deda sits you on the counter. Over you Slavski Kolach. But you are 5, with barely 1 language. He tries again. Here is the cake of our Slava. You watch Oma knead the dough, slick as the 3rd language in her throat. When she presents it from the oven, you watch a body rise from a land which Deda can never return to. So he brought it here, in the Gibanitsa sarma, fried paprika. But you are 5, with a stomach for baked beans, toast. Now you watch your mother adorn the kolach with symbols of our saints for church. Wine, hands, veins will stream into its flesh, where your family name will ring from ancient icons, a name you try and fail to pronounce. Inside your body, this country's blood is diluted. If he could, Deda would bury it deep in your marrow. But you're only 5, so you do not yet know this will be your last Slava with him. So when he leaves you alone in the kitchen, hungry fingers pick at its tightly woven plaits, its crucifix, its skin, until your Slavski Kolach is stripped by a British body. Thank you.
Well done, well done, well
Thank you
done.
very much, guys. We love the audience interaction. Thank you so much. No, but I do genuinely believe it. And anybody who's standing outside the tent right now, please do come in. We've got plenty of seats here. I think that poetry historically, Repeat Beat, PJ was talking about history and championing poets as well throughout history. And historically, poetry was an oral medium, and people in the crowd used to shout out, used to be very interactive. I mean, nowadays less so, but I totally off the chest encourage that. We want a little bit of a if you're enjoying a poem, you can do a little click. We like that. We condone the clicks. We're big fans of clicks. So can I get your loudest click in the audience, please? Right, I do believe we've got our final open micer in the audience now. So can we click her onto the stage? It is Emma, everybody. Big clicks for Emma. Hi, everyone. I'm Emma.
Yeah, Emma.
Feedback. Everyone doing okay? Okay, so my first one, I want to do a little bit of a disclaimer. I don't know if any of you have just woke up in the morning and just belted out a load of poetry into a book, but it felt really familiar to me, and I watch a lot of poetry on Instagram, and so I don't want to plagiarise anyone's work, but I mean, I read it from my heart, and I hope I haven't written out someone else's poetry that I've been dreaming the night before. But it's an amazing piece, so I thought I would share it with you. Okay. So it's my first time doing this ever. And I'm really bad at public speaking as well. So doubly bad. Okay. What can I do when my dreams are filled with visions of you? Closing my eyes is both blessing and curse. Most times it's a gift dragged along in a hearse. I miss looking at your face. I thought I'd memorised each line, but the memories will and degrade over time. My soul used to light up and dance at your eyes. I could sit there for hours and ignore all the lies. But my cries at your lies that you blamed on the highs were never enough to repair any ties. Ties I thought bound us in a majestic type of love. Something out of storybooks ordained from above. Hypocritical of me because I believe in no God. My faith in a deity has long since been lost. To me, you're my God, my saviour, my light, a lantern that lit up my world in the night. The daytime too, for it was just me and you, a deep purple love made up of brilliant red and radiant blue. I was the red filled with passion and fire, you were the blue, calm and slow to retire. Somewhere along the way, the love turned to a bruise, to be prodded, degraded and used. Till your love turned to hate and mine into sadness. Now all that is left is loneliness and madness. That's my
first one.
Yes.
My legs are shaking.
First time.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So this is called Where does this leave us? Where does this leave us? I hear tumble out of your lips, as if such a loaded question could be answered, or let alone comprehended within such limited context. As if bearing your soul to me would diminish the feelings I have for you. I see you, probably for the very first time, perfectly imperfect, slightly broken and afraid, but laced together with gold-plated armour that glistens through the cracks of your facade. I see that you are so painfully human, and it breaks my heart to think of the hurt you have been through and the hurt that may await you further ahead. I see your scars and see beauty far beyond this realm, not seen by the naked eye, but rather felt like the warmth of the sunbeam directly on my face. Of course, I didn't say any of this. Nothing smart left my mouth at all. Just a jumbled mess of mutterings I can barely remember. So instead, I will immortalise you in my writing forever.
Take your time.
This one is a little bit more depressing if you think it could happen. And apologies for everyone, it's going to get dark. Okay, it's called The Problem. The problem with making me detached from you is that my body no longer finds solace in your embrace. Being around you is nice and all, but my soul screams with loneliness whenever you are near. Not only did you break me down, you made me suppress inherent parts of myself. Now I have all of me back, those parts don't feel safe around you. You have neither the softness nor the capacity to love me wholly without asking me to shed parts of myself that you've deemed unworthy. I used to feel whole around you, now I feel like a shell of myself. I used to feel so safe, now I only feel fleeting joy and deepening sadness I can't seem to shake. For months I'd wished that things could go back, but I realised that it must have just been illusion. I'm not sure you ever truly loved me. You just loved the way I diligently poured all of myself into you whilst you systematically neglected me. Being around you is bittersweet. My heart yearns for a place I'm not sure ever existed.
Well done. Ring the bell for you.
Another round of applause for Emma, please. Wow, thank you so much. That was our final open mic of the evening before we launch into our final feature of the evening. But I just want to tell you a little story first. Because I really related to you, Emma, when you were talking about this being your first time. It was actually my first ever time performing poetry at Shambhala Festival, quite some years ago now. And I remember how nervous I was, and I remember how vulnerable it can be because you're sharing your truth amongst so many people. But you've taken the first step. And that's the hardest thing, is getting up there for the first time, and you've done that
That's
today.
true.
So, can I get another massive round of applause for Emma? And I hope that she's
Yes.
off the chair stage soon. It's amazing to see, it honestly is. And also, bringing it back to East London. Ifti and I first met in East London when it was my first time performing poetry and open mic in London. And we're here together today to perform to you guys and to bring so many more amazing poets to this stage. So it truly is an honour. Great, it is my privilege to welcome our final feature of the evening. This poet is a multi-award-winning writer in many different aspects, also a playwright, multi-talented, has 5-star plays, gone to Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
Sold out plays, previously a Roundhouse resident artist, a Roundhouse Slam finalist, Apples and Snakes writing room, alumni. The list does go on. Published in Bath Mag, amongst others. Please, it is my warmest pleasure to welcome to the stage Maddie Akalia. Round of applause, please.
Hello, very nice. Hello, my name's Maddie. Can you all hear me okay?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm not as cool as PJ, so I'm just going to read them. This first poem, you can tell how old it is based on the title. It's how much rent I paid when I first moved to London.
Oh, how much?
And at the time, the whole point of this poem was that I thought this was the most outrageous amount of money.
Too much. That's why I said too much.
And now I wish I paid this much rent. It's called £600 a month.
Oh.
You have to plug in the washing machine every time you want to wash something because of the plumbing. I imagine, maybe 4 winters ago, a phone call. I would like a washing machine. Okay then, we'll be round on Thursday. I imagine it was not that easy. I imagine I would like a washing machine and it's a condition of my contract renewal, a condition of my contributions to your mortgage, of my dual tenancy with the ants and the slugs and the mice. I imagine them arriving as they do now, overlarge torsos, wading their way through our home like it's theirs, because it is. The smell of inner city Land Rover, personalised aftershave that could be Lynx chocolate. The machine will go here, he would say, park it by the oven like a pregnant cow. We all wait for the show. It is intimate for 2 people to watch an overgrown man put a washing machine in a kitchen the size of a stamp. I'm breathing onto his shoulder, creating mist in a 3-inch gap. There's a shadow on the top curve of his ear that I realise was once a cartilage piercing. He does a good job of hiding his youth in his hairline. People who own more than one house could not have thought about getting the word love tattooed in Sanskrit at 19. There are so few types of people. The man, squatting now, pushes the machine into the wall and turns to me. Sweat drips from his forehead like onions on low heat. When you want to do a wash, just plug it in the front. Same thing, really. We all stand as he demonstrates, putting the dangling grey plug into the socket, then out again. I fantasise about singing nursery rhymes. Always turn the switch off when you aren't using it, saves you money. The fact sits on my tongue like a piece of lime. Just topple out then, the 2 men. I retreat into the mouth of the bathroom and stand on a dead ant. They turn, as if their bodies are shared. He's my guy for all the houses, he told me on the phone. We go years back, trustworthy, reliable. I lean on my left foot. A gentle lick of air coats me from the open window and I stare at the rust on the hinges.
Yes.
Funny story about that poem is I wrote it and then immediately the guy in the handyman fell out, broke a 20-year relationship with them working together all over our flat. It was very dramatic. Because they'd never read this poem. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I hate you and here's a poem about it. So the next 2 poems are about eggs, and I didn't realise that eggs were a theme in my work until I was curating this set, and I realised I had 2 of them. So I thought, let's put them together and have 2 eggs together. So this first one is called Vegan with Hard-Boiled Eggs, and it's about, I used to be a nanny, and the little girl I looked after ate a lot of hard-boiled eggs, and I don't eat eggs anymore because I'm a vegan, and I had to unpeel a lot of eggs, and it was just a lot of time with me and a child that couldn't speak and eggs, and that's where this came from. There's a moment-free crack where you worry it's raw and you're going to make a mess. It's unfamiliar, but you've been here before, like attempting French to the exchange family. The shell falls away. Do anti-abortion activists abstain from egg and cress at their rallies? The membrane makes me think of my 2007 Tamagotchi, waves of period pain, being needed. I split it in 2, some fragile offering. The centre of things is always holier. What happens now? It smells like fermenting skin in a kilner jar. Why is this associated with the morning? I am past the potato masher and it makes me feel like a dictator. That's the trouble. There's too much power in singular pieces of metal. I want to bite it, but the vegan police will come, whooping in their dungarees. The potato masher pinches me. He thinks I'm being too slow. I tell him to get a hobby, maybe watercolours. The clock ticks and I do it then. Slash up the egg with the masher and there's an explosion, but no one really notices. It grows up into a sandwich and returns to the earth, bragging about the smoothie it sat next to in the meal deal. Banana and strawberry. A real looker. Thank you. Eggs 2.0. So this is called eating a boiled egg in front of a man who does not love me. But I think he does. Gaze tenderly as I scrape the white from the shell with a